In the summer of 2062, Aphrodite Agency was awarded a major contract by a record company that wanted to produce a music video set in the Bahamas. So Debbie proceeded to plan a vacation to there for herself and the agency's models.
So we will be taking a cruise ship to the Bahamas next week. I have chosen you, your sister, and other models to appear in the music videos. Remember, this is a job, not just to have fun. I expect you to do your best to represent the modeling agency well. Is that clear? Of course. We promise not to let you down, Mrs. Smith. But I have a question. Could our mother and brother also go on this cruise? I think they would enjoy it. They can come, but only if they can pay their own way. They are not employees of this agency, after all. That's fair, Mrs. Smith. We will tell them about it. So that's the plan, Mother. We are inviting you to come with us. What do you think? Let me ask my husband Danny about it. Sarah, you know that your brother was paralyzed last month due to that fall he took at the construction site. I and your stepfather have been taking care of him ever since. I hope he can walk again soon, though. So do I, but until that happens he must live here with us. Huh? What are you suggesting? Danny is suggesting that I go alone, that he can focus on caring for Sammy while I take a break from doing that. Father Danny is such a great guy. I am so thankful he came into your life. I'd like you to come on this cruise with me. You could act as a bodyguard for some of the models and keep me company as well.
Sure, I'd love to do that. What about the others in this household?
I'll pass. Even as a child, riding in a small boat would make me seasick. I imagine taking a cruise would be 10 times worse for me. Besides, I was planning to visit my mother's grave next week. The anniversary of her death is coming up. I guess that rules me out too. Richard and Diana, what do you think? Sure, I think we can go. I'm sure the models could use more bodyguards, right? And so a week later.
Are you as excited about this as I am, Mother? My first time ever on a cruise. And to think that I was once in dire poverty and you and your brother and sister were stuck in foster care. I'm just glad I got you out of that situation so something like this could be possible.
Thank you so much for inviting me and my wife Joyce on this cruise.
My pleasure, Barry. But of course, you and your wife will have to work for the agency. You as a bodyguard to models and Joyce as a model. Can you handle that, Joyce?
Sure. How hard can it be?
Sure, I can be a photographer.
Maybe you could be a model too, Helen?
I don't think I am pretty enough for that. Just the idea of being in front of the camera makes me nervous.
Okay, but I always thought you were cute.
Attention all passengers. This is the captain speaking. We have now left the port in Houston and are heading for the Bahamas. We hope you all enjoy this trip.
My father was an officer on a cruise ship like this, so he would invite me and my mother and brother on cruises when we were teens.
So you are quite used to this. I hope you can give me advice on what to do, Karen. This is all new to me. May we sit with you and Karen, Annika? Sure, have a seat.
What is it, Annika?
I find it interesting that even after you and your mothers all became billionaires from the selling of that spaceship, you all continue living as you did before. You still work regular jobs, for example.
Just because we are super rich doesn't mean we can stop contributing to the rest of society. We still have a responsibility to provide for the well-being of others.
That's why Richard and I decided to work for the Dallas Police Department. As a way of giving back.
Last month I was reading in a news magazine about a serial killer in Detroit who was killed by police. He was hunting down prostitutes and using a baseball bat to crush their skulls. He even had a special name carved into the bat, the Slug Cracker.
Richard, that is rude. You don't talk about that stuff at dinner.
Oh, my.